This lesson will walk you through creating your first website with Bootstrap Studio. You will learn which components to use, how to link pages together, work with images, preview, and export your design. The first step is to create a blank design. Give it a name and click Create. Our website will consist of 2 pages, the main page and an About page. If you look in the Design panel, you can see that we are working on a page named index.html. This is the standard name given to the main page of your website. This is where visitors will land when they load your website URL in their browser. We just need to create another HTML file for the About page. We will get back to it after we finish the index page. Now we need to import some images that we will be using in this design. Right-click the Images group and choose Import. I have prepared a few photos here. You can find them in the video description if you wish to follow along with the video. Select and import them. You can create folders in the Design panel to better organize your project like this. There is no hard rule on how a page has to be constructed, but most often than not, you need some type of navigation bar at the top, with the name of the website, a logo, and some links. In Bootstrap Studio, this is done with the nav bar component. You can find it by scrolling down to the page group. Or you can just search for it. We also need to add a button after the links. Now select the nav that holds all the links. Set the alignment setting to End. This will move the items to the right. Now we need to delete the last link. Be sure to select the nav item, not only the link. Add a bit of space after the last nav item. Then edit the text of the links by double-clicking. To change where the links point to, we need to change the URL option. The first link will point to the index.html page, and the second to About HTML. I will also edit the brand text. The link will point to the index page. You can see that the navbar takes up the entire width of the page. This is a reasonable behavior for many websites, but for this design, we will limit it by switching off the fluid option. Now it snaps to specific widths and doesn't exceed a maximum size even on ultra-wide displays. You can see how the navbar collapses on smartphones and shows a hamburger menu. You simulate a click on the menu with this button. You will learn more about navbars and their options later in the video series. For the next section, we will need a component from the UI component group. Here we have a number of pre-made responsive rows and columns. We will use the one row, one column component. In the overview, you can see that it consists of a container and a row and column inside it. These 3 components are the key to building responsive layouts in Bootstrap Studio. We will explain in detail how they work in our responsive design lesson. For now, we will just use them as they are. Inside, we will drop a heading and then a paragraph, and change their text. Make the paragraph text bigger by activating the lead option. Select the column and center the text. Then change the width to 8 on the MD breakpoint. This will limit the column width on tablets and larger devices. You will learn how this works in the responsive design lesson. Next, we want to center the column within the row. We can do it by selecting the row and changing the Align X option. Let's add a button and then duplicate it. Add a bit of margin. Select these two buttons together and change their style to outline. Then select all three and set border radius to pill. For the next section, we will drop a container and an image. Double-click to select the intro image, then make it rounded. When we switch between breakpoints, we can see that our intro text needs some padding. Select the column and give it a bit of top and bottom padding by holding Shift while dragging. The page is looking good so far, but we can bring the design up a notch by changing the theme of the Bootstrap framework. To do this, open the Settings dialog and choose the Lux theme in the drop-down. Now, before moving to the next section, let's open the View Options menu in the toolbar and activate the Extra Whitespace setting. This will add blank space at the bottom of the page, so it's easier to drag and drop components. We can now scroll past the end of the content, making it easier to drop components. Keep in mind that this extra space will only show up in Bootstrap Studio. You won't see it in the browser. Now select the first container, copy it, and paste it inside the body. This will insert a copy at the bottom of the page. Remove the buttons and change the text. Remember to switch the heading to Type 2. Visually, this doesn't make much of a difference, but it's a good practice to maintain a hierarchy of heading tags for better SEO. We will explain this in detail when we discuss textual components later in the series. For the next section, we will drop a 1 row 3 columns component. Then grab the treats photo, drop it inside the first column, and make it rounded. We want each of the images in the menu to be a link to the full version of the photo. To do this, grab a link component and drop it next to the image. Delete the text of the link. Then drop the image inside the link. The result is that the entire image is wrapped by the link, and clicking it will redirect the user to the link URL. Just set the URL to the treats image. Let's try it out in the browser. Click here and activate the browser preview and open the address. Scroll down and hover over the image. You can see that the entire element is a link and points to the JPEG file. Clicking loads it in the browser so users can see it in full size. Now we just need to select the link, copy it, and paste it in the empty columns. Then change the images. And lastly, update the links to point to them. Let's check the responsiveness. On small devices, we need to add some vertical space here. I will do it from the gutter size row option. Now let's add a footer to our page. I will use one of the pre-made ones called Footer Basic. Select the container within the footer and increase the top padding a bit. Then change the link text and lastly the link URL. The main page of our website is now ready. Here is a quick tip. If you find the column outlines distracting, you can hide them from the View menu like this. Before we move to the other page, we need to copy a few components over. Later in the series, you will learn how to keep headers and footers in sync across pages by using linked components. But in this lesson, we will just copy them over. Select the navbar, one of the containers and the footer, right-click and select Copy To. Then switch to the About page. Here we will change which link is active. In our navbar video, you will learn how to make it automatic, but in this lesson, we will do it by hand. Change the heading text and delete the buttons. Then drop a 1 row 2 columns component and place the profile photos inside. Select the 2 columns and set their widths to 6 on the SM breakpoint and 4 on MD. Then select the row and center them. On the smallest breakpoint, we need to add some vertical gutters. Finally, select the images and make them rounded. All that's left is to give our pages unique titles. Right-click the page and choose Properties. Users will see the title in search engines and in the Browser tab. We will explain more about website titles, descriptions, and meta tags in our SEO tutorial later in the series. All that is left is to export your design as an HTML website. Just click the Export button, which will bring up this dialog. There are quite a few options here, but we won't cover them today. You only need to pick a folder on your computer and hit Export. Bootstrap Studio will turn your website into a collection of files. If you open the folder, you will see HTML, CSS, JS, and images. You can upload them to your hosting account, GitHub pages, or other providers and get a lightweight site that is super fast to load. Thank you for watching this video. You can find the finished design and the images we used in the description below. Watch our other lessons to learn more about Bootstrap Studio.